And with that, Belle gets to her feet and begins to peer inside the piano at its exposed innards, as it were. I wonder if the piano were a living, breathing creature, whether it would find this monthly tuning exercise of being opened up and invaded by unfamiliar fingers deeply embarrassing. What on earth am I thinking? This must be because of Belle. I should stop this. I need to stop this now. But that's easier said than done, especially given Belle is leaning over the piano, her short skirt displaying a generous, some might say overly generous amount of her behind. When she shifts, pressing her pale fingers against the strings, I see her underwear in stark detail. Is she doing this on purpose? Yes, look at her face. Of course she is. Why would you not be looking at her face? I never knew tuning a piano could be so interesting. I used to find the job incredibly dull. Oh no. No, don't zoom me. Oh. The subtle bulge of her thighs, constrained by her socks, looks even more appealing like this. It's almost as though she's inviting wandering fingers. Maybe she is. It can be no coincidence that she keeps turning over her shoulder to shoot me glances, blinking from beneath her long, smoky lashes. I take a step backwards. Why am I still looking? I should stop looking. She's only tuning a piano, for Christ's sakes. You couldn't make a decent porno out of that, could you? You'd be surprised. But Belle's trying. She's trying her best to make a porno, and it's goddamn working, too. Oh, fuck. I need to say something. The atmosphere is becoming unbearable. Not even the sound of kids playing outside, the little monsters, all of them, can alleviate the pounding in my head and the twitching of my fingertips. I really want to play that piano. So yeah, you know how to tune a piano, huh? Of course, I'm a spirit of many talents. And where did you pick that one up? Huh, well, who knows? It's a secret. Like your age? Indeed, a lady never tells. For all you know, I could have been Marie Antoinette in a past life, eating cake and drinking tea. Whilst the rest of France slowly starved to death, right? Apparently that was propaganda. The whole let them eat cake thing wasn't real, I don't think. But of course, I've always been selfish. Ever since I was born. When I find something I like, I detest the thought of sharing it with anyone. This is all foreboding. Belle looks at me, her eyes narrowed, ominous. Her eyes, those damned eyes, seem harsher under the sunlight somehow, more menacing than they were last night on my dick. I swallow, like she did. I'm not so dense that I can't realize that was a threat. I'd better not bring Belle back home to meet Sally and Melly then. Not that I was planning on it. Can you imagine how awkward that would be? Hello, my daughter and my wife. Meet this cat girl I'm gonna fuck. Hey there. Oh, here, let me introduce you to someone very special. This is Belle, my great aunt Clarice's cat, whom I attempted to save from drowning when I was only 6, and has now returned to thank me for the favor with her body. Please don't be alarmed. Like that would go down well. Sally's eyes would probably widen so much that they'd roll right out of her head. And as for Melly, I'm not sure how Melly would react. I never am these days. I shake my head. This is a waste of time. Forget it. It's not going to happen anyway. Oh, why are we back here? You were never Marie Antoinette. I doubt the Queen of France would ever have to tune her own piano. Indeed, I never did. Not when I was Marie Antoinette anyway, at least. You should thank me for degrading myself in such a manner for your sake, Robin. I glanced back at her legs, her thighs, and her underwear. I think you're degrading yourself in a number of other ways. It's meant to be a skirt, not a belt. And now you sound like a concerned father. That's because I am a father. I'd never let Melly go out dressed like some kind of hussy. You say that, But I wonder, parents don't know their children as well as they'd like to think. You're not all that close to Melody, are you? Oh no. Oh no! Is this Melody just wearing like a cattail and ears and... Oh no! Ah! I blink. They never actually showed us Melody yet. They haven't shown us Melody, his daughter. I blink. I was just playing around, I think, but Belle's words stopped me, frozen in place, like a figure in a photograph. Looking at this photograph, what does she know about Melody? What does she know about my family? My God, this demon. All right, there we go. All done. And then this became a psychological horror all of a sudden. With that exclamation, Belle sets down the wooden piano cover, once again hiding the delicate assembly of strings within. I raise an eyebrow. That was awfully fast. Oh, are you doubting the quality of my handiwork, my good sir? I, who was once the crowned queen of France. I must admit, I am a little dubious if you really can tune a piano as fast as you claim you can. I'll be out of a job. Ha ha ha. Well, that's just how it goes in the cutthroat world of work. Welcome to consumerism, capitalism, baby. They always want newer people, younger people, people with bright eyes and fast fingers, who can work harder for less pay and don't truly understand their rights. Wow, I sigh. It's kind of true, Belle. Belle's right. I've noticed an alarming trend lately, which has been sweeping through their school these past few years. A number of the teachers, good teachers, men and women I was friendly, small talk terms with, are being laid off. First it was Miss Long, then Mr. Golland, and then Mr. Potts. It can't be any coincidence that these men and women were all in their mid-50s or even older. The people hired to replace them, meanwhile, were so young they could only have been a few years older than Melly, fresh from finishing their PGCEs. How fucking old is his daughter? How old is our daughter? It's a wonder the kids listen to them at all, you know. They're not much more than kids themselves. This school doesn't feel like a school to me. Not anymore. It's more like a nursery. I go into the staff room to escape being pawned and mauled by the children, not confronted with even more of them. I have no doubts that I'm a boomer now, and a handful of years I'll be laid off too, replaced with some trendy young boy or girl Zoomer who insists upon being called by their first name and their pronoun and likes listening to Katy Perry or something, I don't know, and I don't know, Skrillex, and can't even read music sheets. Fucking Skrillex, am I right, you know? You have a point, but I'd rather not talk about it. It's depressing. This is all very depressing. My depression. I see. The looming prospect of unemployment is always a toughie, huh? You're going to die alone one day, especially when you have your wife and daughter leave you for another man. Wow, thanks, Belle. They don't make things easy, do they? It's no wonder you resent them, especially when you're trying so hard, but they never seem to realize. I wince, my head pounds. She's right again, this dumb crazy bitch. It's almost as though she could see right through me, peering inside the recesses of my skull and pulling on all the different wires within. I'm suddenly struck by a frightening thought. What if she knows me even better than I know myself? That's just humans for you, though, huh? Ungrateful, even the ungrateful through and through. You get too old, and you get tossed aside like a ratty cardigan. Sure, they'll hand out the usual platitudes. I'm so sorry to let you go. You were an invaluable asset to our team, but they don't mean it. It means nothing, especially if they hang you out to dry like that. People always say things they don't mean. It's just manners, and manners don't cost a penny. I can't stand niceness for the sake of niceness. It's so tawdry. I feel my fingers clenching into fists at my sides. I'm trembling. I wish I wasn't. Maybe Belle can sense my fear, like a dog or something. Well, she is a cat. I already said I don't want to talk about it, bitch. Huh. Belle exhales, running her hand through her short hair. Best suit yourself, I guess. Being a queen in a past life, I can't understand your petty pedestrian worries. They're unsuited to a noble figure such as I. Now, would a noble figure really wear a skirt that short? People would faint if they saw so much as an exposed ankle back in the heyday of Madame Antoinette. And that's precisely why I want to dress like this. Experimenting with new fashion trends is exciting. A schoolgirl uniform is hardly a fashion trend. I paused, pondering. And Marie Antoinette was also made redundant, wasn't she? In the worst possible way. Indeed, but I was dignified to the last. I did not scream or cry, not even when my head was on the chopping block. That would have been far too unladylike. Haha, well, color me impressed. I don't think I would be able to handle being executed with such good sportsmanship, you know? I don't know, maybe. Might be able to. Don't want to cry like a bitch, right? Just go out. It takes practice, years of training. Don't worry, Robin. I'm sure you'll get there. I'd rather not if it's all the same to you. You know, I quite like my head being attached to my neck. I quite like your head too. You're cute. I think I'll keep it in my freezer. Haha, I'm not sure about that. Demon? We exchange brief glances, and then we both start to laugh. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because the situation is so ridiculous. The two of us hold up inside a music classroom like fugitives hiding from the rest of the world. Right now, I could almost believe Belle is my whole world. Almost. If it weren't for the sound of the children playing outside, that is. Those goddamn children. So, Robin, aren't you curious? Do you want to see what a good job I did? About the piano, you mean? That's right. Why don't we play together? Okay. That might be nice. It's been a while since I played with anybody else. Even though you teach piano? Even so, mostly I just sit around and listen to my students. I don't get a chance to play very much myself. Didn't you ever try to teach melody? I did for a brief amount of time, but Melly didn't like it. She wasn't built for it. Did he ever tell her his daughter's name? Did he ever say his daughter's name to her? Because she knows the daughter's name. And now I'm wondering. Like, I can't remember. But, You mean she has stubby little fingers? She wasn't physically unsuited. It was more mentally, I suppose. She didn't have the knack. No staying power. It's sad. I really did want Melody to learn how to play the piano. It wasn't just some passing whim. It was my dream. Maybe it was because of grandfather. Great-grandpapa! He was the one who taught me how to play the piano all those years back. Back when I was 5. Back when life was simple. And I would just get beat by my father. He was a patient tutor who offered me words of encouragement. And at the end of each lesson, he'd give me a fruit gum as a reward. I never saw playing the piano as a burden, though I'm sure lots of children made a lesson made to learn instruments too. It was fun, I thought it was. I looked forward to every single lesson, and I especially enjoyed it when Grandpapa would play alongside me. I thought those duets we played together were beautiful. They were the way for the two of us to communicate on a deeper level than words. Like men. Men of music. I guess that's why I wanted to teach music. Like most people, I wanted to become a man of music who experienced something unforgettable in their youth. I wanted nothing more than to share my feelings with others. I wanted to share it with my daughter, my Melly. But it didn't work like that. I don't have Grandpapa's patience, and Melly had no desire to learn. She hated the piano, and would always complain when it was time for her lessons. Not like Belle. Belle doesn't complain. She merely tries to seduce me. Belle sits on the edge of the stool, leaving enough space for me to join her, with an expectant look on her face. She wants me to play with her. More ways than one. Somebody actually wants me to play with them. Now, when was the last time that happened? I haven't felt wanted like this for years. Alright then, let's see what you can do. I roll up my sleeves, an unabashed smile tugging at my lips. It's the kind of smile it's impossible to suppress. Just like laughter, it threatens to erupt at an inappropriate moment. Schadenfreude, making your dreams come true. I take the seat by Belle on the stool, facing the scratching old Steinway. The stool is small, and I can feel Belle's side pressed against mine. For all her talk about being a spirit, her body is warm and inviting, reassuringly human. Reassuringly legal-aged human. What do you want to play? I like Debussy. La Petite Suite is one of my favorites. Do you know the song? Of course I know it. It's been playing the piano for more than 30 years. Please have some faith in me. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot you were such an old man. Not as old as you, apparently, bitch. Touché. You primary school teachers nowadays, you have such sharp tongues. I suppose that's to make up for the fact you can't legally hit anyone, right, pussy? As if I'd want to hit anyone, I'm not violent. What a shame. I like a man who can take charge and beat the shit out of children. Speaking of taking charge, are you sure you'll be able to keep up? You were a cat for an awfully long time. I know, but cats are very graceful creatures. I was a virtuoso, even in my feline form. I would play piano all the time. I have vague memories of Belle clambering over the piano at Great Aunt Clarice's home. Her paws pressed against the black and white keys in a cacophony of noise. I laughed. Well, maybe you have a point. Tee-hee-hee. You look a lot cuter when you smile like that. You don't smile nearly enough, Robin. We should make our own political movement and say hashtag share a smile. I haven't had much to smile about recently. To tell you the truth, it feels like a little bit strange. Maybe I fractured the muscles around my mouth. It's from eating all that pussy because I'm such a man, you know. Well, I'm sorry if smiling is painful for you, but I won't let you off the hook. Not now. We've begun. I'm going to make you smile much, much more. Oh, you will you? When she says it like that, it sounds like a challenge, and I don't like backing down from challenges. Fucking double down, Robin. Don't you let that bitch tell you what to do. Don't you let that bitch tell you. Tee-hee-hee. Belle giggles coyly as the last note fades into silence, pausing to brush a strand of hair behind her ear. La Petite Suite should be a tad longer than our abridged version, but we don't have enough time. Lunch break will be ending soon, and then my classroom will be assailed by children again, with their sticky fingers and their gaping mouths and their disgusting little runny fucking noses and getting germs everywhere. For a few moments, I almost managed to believe Belle and I were the only ones left on the planet. For a few moments, that's truly what I wanted. For the entire, complete eradication of mankind. But we all have to return back to reality someday. I think between you and me, we made a right mess of that. Well, it's been a while since I played anything that complicated. And it's been a while since I had fingers. I apologize for being clumsy. It's fine, even if you were clumsy. It was very passionate. So passionate. Thank you. I'm always passionate in everything that I do. I can't understand humans who aren't, who drift through life like jellyfish, pale and gray. even though their lives are so much shorter than mine. Like Debussy. Yeah, like Debussy. I think it might be good he's dead, though. He'd be very upset that we butchered his song. I can see him rolling in his grave because I'm the devil. Belle smiles coyly, a strand of dark hair around one finger. Well, I would love to stay and chat, but I should probably be going now. I glance at Belle in practical school uniform, a small smile on my face. I take it you have classes you need to attend. Of course. I'd love to hang around with my favorite teacher a little longer, but this girl is on a tight schedule, like my vagina. Playing the piano really wore me out, like my vagina. It did? All you had to do was move your fingers. Oh, I'm aware, but I'm still not used to maintaining this form. I think I need a nap. I thought you said you were going to classes. You're sleepy at lunchtime? You really are like a cat. I was a cat until a few years ago. Now this cute kitty needs to recharge. Chew. I think I'm a little more prepped for her outward show of affection today. She leans forward on the stool, not that she needs to, given how close we already are, and presses a kiss against the tip of my nose, as light as a falling feather. But I still feel my face turning red. What is this, anyway? I'm starting to feel like the schoolgirl here, and I'm not even in the appropriate outfit. Thank God. Oh no. Get away from me, El Diablo. Belle gets to her feet and smiles, giving me a wave. Bye, Mr. Hawkins. I'll see you again real soon. Do you really have to leave through the window? It might look a little suspicious. Don't worry. Nobody noticed me coming in here, so I'm sure nobody will notice me leaving either. I never get caught when I murder. You're awfully confident. Did you murder somebody here? Of course I'm confident. I was royalty in my past life, remember? Of course. Right. And quicker than blinking, Belle slips through the window. I watch as she walks away, her dark hair fluttering around her shoulders. She disappears in less than a minute as though she were never there at all. Maybe she wasn't. Ah! Oh no, it's you.